Hello and welcome to the lecture. In this lecture, let us see the difference between BJT and MOSFET. So, the first main difference is that BJT is a current control device, whereas MOSFET is voltage control device. So, in BJT, the base current will, by controlling the base current, we will vary the collector current. Whereas in MOSFET, by varying the gate source voltage, we can control the drain current. So that's why MOSFET is a voltage control device. Whereas BJT is a bipolar device, that is, current conduction happens due to both electrons and holes. So both electrons and holes will contribute to the current. So if electrons is the majority carriers, then holes will be the minority carriers. So like that, both will be contributing to the current. Whereas in case of MOSFET, it is a unipolar device. So current conduction happens due to majority carriers only. Either the current conduction happens due to holes or electrons. And the other important difference when it comes to the applications is the input impedance. So for BJT, input impedance is low, whereas for MOSFET, the input impedance is very high. And BJTs are commonly used in low current applications, and MOSFETs are ideal for high power applications. So basically, BJTs are commonly used in low current applications and MOSFETs in high power applications. So the switching frequency of BJT is very low, whereas MOSFET is high. This is because BJT has high switching losses and low conduction loss. So as BJT has high switching losses, we cannot use it for high switching frequency applications. So the switching frequency is very low, in the order of kilohertz. Whereas MOSFET has low switching losses, so we can use it for high frequency application. And conduction losses are conduction losses are low in BJT. So where the frequency is less, BJT is ideal in that case. And the next important difference is that the BJT exhibits a negative temperature coefficient of resistance. So that is, as the temperature increases, the resistance decreases. That is negative temperature coefficient. That happens in BJT. So we can't operate BJTs in parallel because if uh, and it is apparent that whether it is BJT or MOSFET, whenever they operate, they uh, give out heat, they dissipate heat. So because of heat, the temperature of the device changes and the resistance changes. So in case we connect BJTs in parallel, so the resistance going to decrease and it will affect one another. So as BJTs have negative temperature coefficient, they can't be operated in parallel. Whereas MOSFET, it exhibits positive temperature coefficient. That is, as the temperature as the temperature increases, resistance also increases in case of MOSFET. So they can be operated in parallel. It's basically like a BJT. Like if suppose a BJT is something like current, it carries current, and if its resistance decreases when in the parallel operation, then that will lead to damage of both the devices, so they can't be operated in parallel, whereas MOSFETs can be operated. So this is a very major merit of MOSFET and in terms of application. And BJT, so it gives high gain and low bandwidth, and whereas MOSFET, it gives no gain but it has large bandwidth. So these are the differences between BJT and MOSFET. Thanks for watching this video and please subscribe my channel to get more videos.